Read Win on your home for 24/7 news, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Staples Holiday Deals mean amazing savings for the holiday season. Right now, save 50% on custom holiday cards and invitations, as well as custom photo gifts like mugs and calendars. Offer ends 12/16. Visit staples.com/print for more details. Have yourself a merry little holiday deal at Staples.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers win their third straight. They cruised past Utah to win by 32 at Crypto.com. The Lakers had 35 assists. Efficient game for LeBron, 17 points, 9 assists in 24 minutes. LeBron sat out the fourth quarter. The Lakers needed a blowout like this to give LeBron some valuable rest. He played 40 minutes in Sunday's win over Houston. The Lakers would need a well-rested LeBron tonight. They play Dallas at Crypto, 7 o'clock tip. The Clippers are back in action tonight. They're in San Antonio to play the Spurs again. The Clippers beat the Spurs by 25 on Monday. The top 4 schools in the college football playoff rankings: Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and Washington. If the regular season ended today, these 4 schools will be in the playoffs to battle for the national championship. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours, now through December 20th. All of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
In the Ferrari or Jaguar, switching 4 lanes with the top down, screaming out, money ain't a thing.
Bubble hard in the double law, flashing the rings with the window crack, holla back, money ain't a thing.
Jigga, I don't like it if it don't gleam, gleam. In the hell with the price, cause the money ain't a thing.
Put it down hard for my dogs that's locked in the bang. When you hit the bricks, new whips, money ain't a thing. Come on.
Y'all wanna floss with us? Come on. All across the board, we burn it up. Drop a little paper, baby, toss it up. Slacking on your pimpin', turn it up. See the money.
Welcome to Wealth Building Wednesdays, where we center Black, women, and BIPOC-owned businesses, highlight opportunities and initiatives for underrepresented entrepreneurs, and center socially innovative enterprises, building generational prosperity, fostering real networking, and recycling Black dollars. It's Wealth Building Wednesdays on KBLA Talk 1580.
It sure is, and today in the spotlight, the candle maker behind a place called House of Mosaic Candles. She started making candles back in 2016 after her favorite candle store changed locations. Well, that's a great inspiration. Do something about it. Make your own business. Learn more about the business and how she is moving as a business owner. This is the perfect season to start buying some candles. So it's great timing to meet you, Tony Shaw. Good morning.
Morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm blessed. How are you doing?
I'm blessed as well. Glad to be speaking with you.
Yeah, so I've never heard of someone starting a business because they didn't want to sit in traffic, but that sounds like a uniquely kind of California type of move. Like
I was going to say, L.A. story if there ever was. I mean, born and raised here, so I should be used to it. But just got tired of sitting in traffic, not finding parking. Another LA trait.
Yes,
and do up my hands and say, you know what, I'm gonna make my own candles.
So you went. So you weren't already a candle maker. You were just Forget this traffic. I love candles. I can't find parking. You actually went to school and learned how to make candles.
Yes. I mean, I went to an extensions class at West LA College.
Nice.
Got some foundational things, but not enough. I was bold enough to go buy a whole box of jars and make 45 candles that really ended up not being that great. So I knew I needed to further my education, and fortunately I found someone who had been making candles for over 30 years, and he sort of took me under his wing and taught me all the secrets.
I love that.
I got a lot better.
So community college, and then you apprenticed with someone. Plus, it sounds like, reading your bio, that you did a lot of experimentation on your own as well.
Yes. So everything I put out, it has to pass my personal preferences and my exacting specifications. So I had a lot of friends and family that I would, here, try this. And, they were honest and gave me their feedback. And fortunately, I got to the point where they're like, okay, Tony, I think you're ready. This one's a good one. So
yeah, well, family, they either going to give you the feedback to your face or talk about you behind your back. So it's better to get it up front.
I'd rather hear it. Yes.
So now Mosaic Candles is born, and right now you can be found at pop-ups mostly, right?
Primarily, yes. I actually got my start right here in my community, which is the Crenshaw Leimert Park community. So every Saturday you can find me at the Baldwin Hills Mall at the Crenshaw Hills Farmers Market. I'm right in front of the movie theater. And outside of that, I do other pop-ups throughout LA County and actually the state. And then I also have a website where I ship throughout the U.S.
Okay, let's give out the website before we forget, because I do not have that.
So it's actually houseofmosaicandles.com.
Okay, I'm on it already. Houseofmosaicandles.com. It's quite a beautiful website. And tell me what makes your candles special. Honestly, I was reading in your bio, and it says that your candles are, the fragrances are phthalate free. I didn't even know that scented candles had those. Those are the chemicals that can turn boys into girls and girls into fish or something. Those are terrible toxic chemicals that are actually found in some beauty and bath products. But I didn't know they were in candles.
They could be in the fragrance oils. So that's why, for me, it was very important when I launched my line to not only have the candles smell good, but make sure I use products that were healthy and safe for my community. So all of my fragrance oils are phthalate-free, skin-safe. I use a vegan blend of coconut-soy wax, no paraffin, because we don't want to be burning carbon products. We're already dealing with climate change. 100% cotton wicks. And I really encourage my guests to repurpose their jars, into, chopsky catch-alls or, plant little succulents in there. And I'm probably going to be starting a program in 2024 where they can bring back the jars to me.
Recycle, yeah.
Receive a credit on their future purchase. So just that way, I really want to be mindful that I'm a sustainable business.
Love it. I see that you also teach others how to make candles, workshops, creating custom scents and hand-pouring candles. You got workshops on all kinds of things, garlands and self-care pillow making. If you don't know how to spell mosaic, it's M-O-S-A-I-C, so House of M-O-S-A-I-C, candles.com. And tell me about this fundraiser. I see one up on the website now. If we now through November 12th through December 8th, we can support ICIF by buying candles on your website.
Yeah, so actually, my sister is a principal at ICEF Innovation Academy, which is at Challengers Boys and Girls Club. It's an elementary school, and we've partnered and collaborated. I'm the business for their fundraiser. So the parents, the community can purchase candles. If you put ICEF in the comments, then they will receive a portion of the proceeds. And this just goes back to our community. It helps, the administration offer services to the students and the families at the school. So I'm really excited that I'm partnering with them in this fundraiser.
And it sounds like this is something you plan to keep doing with various organizations. So that's cool.
Yes, that's in addition to selling candles directly to guests, I offer fundraisers. So other organizations looking for a fun way to raise money for their business, please reach out. I also do custom candles. So for birthdays or anniversaries, you want a special label or your picture, weddings.
Yeah.
And also white labels. So if you just want to have a line of candles, but you don't want to do the work to make them, reach out and we can definitely discuss that as well. We have wholesale pricing.
They look beautiful. You've got some great names: Black Joy, Juneteenth, limited edition candle. You got all the vibes. You also have a Michael B. Jordan candle, a Dora Milaje candle, the goat. That's for, we can give. Does that mean we can give that one to anyone who thinks they're the goat? I'm just asking.
Yeah, come on. We all got one of those in the family or friends. So
I love it. And these are great. These are great holiday gifts. I think, I'm always talking about, I support Black Lives Matter's Black Xmas and the spirit of recycling black dollars, the organization Recycling Black Dollars. So these are great candles. We can't go wrong with a candle as a holiday gift. I do not have stock in the company. I don't get any kickback. I just think it's a really nice idea. You have the Lamert Park candle. You have, I see, the Crenshaw candle.
Gotta represent my community. And the Crenshaw is a fan favorite. It's super fruity, blend of cherry, lime, vanilla.
Why does that sound crazy? It's a fruity blend for Crenshaw. All right. Okay, Tony Shaw, what you said.
Hey. Yes, and if you don't know the scent that you're if you want to give one as a gift and you don't know what your friend or family might like, we do have digital gift cards, so you can purchase a gift card and they can go on the website and pick their own scent. So we want to make sure we cover all the bases.
And you have a few other things here on the website too. I see you have room mists and a few other things people can pick up.
Yeah.
So it's a great shopping site. I shop way too much online, and I feel like we need to challenge ourselves to shop online directly with small businesses, and particularly Black-owned businesses, instead of just going to Amazon for everything because Jeff Bezos already has enough money. Tony Shaw, is your business Mosaic Candles, is it 100% Black-owned and operated?
It is 100% Black owned and operated. I am the chief candle maker, advertiser, marketer, and you'll see me out there at the pop-ups as well. So,
well, it is a pleasure to meet you. What do you want to leave? What intellectual scent would you like to leave us with this morning?
Well, I just want to let everyone know that we have over 30 scents, so we have something for everyone to set the mood. And aromatherapy is such a huge part of our daily life, and it can really change your outlook, improve depression. So just come, don't go to the big box stores, but if you're looking to add some aromatherapy to your home, we hope you shop with us and shop small in the community.
Love that. That's true. It can definitely elevate your mood. You can also find Mosaic Candles on Instagram at House of Mosaic Candles. On Facebook, same thing. House of Mosaic LA on Facebook. Yes. Tony Shaw, such a pleasure to meet you, and I hope you sell tons of candles this holiday season.
Thank you, Dominique. It was my pleasure, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving and holiday season.
Absolutely. You as well. This Black Friday, in the words of BLM, let's buy black, bank black, and build black. Let's recycle black dollars, in the words of Muhammad Nazardine. One way to do it, houseofmosaicandles.com. Let's talk about it. Man, there's so much to cover. What you want to talk about? Let me know. 800-920-1580. I'm Dominique DiPrima, and you are listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. environmental justice, pollution, and climate. In Los Angeles and across America, people of color are suffering and dying from disproportionate health impacts on a planet that has less than 10 years to prevent irreversible damage. Heat illnesses, respiratory illnesses, water-related illnesses, food system impacts, insect-related diseases, Black maternal health, and mental health effects. As the impacts of climate change mount, millions of vulnerable people, our people, are going to bear the brunt of these extreme environmental events, which will likely lead to forced displacement, loss of cultural identity, and other related risks. These realities are as real as rain. Stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580 for more details about the most progressive multimedia and live events campaign any Black media outlet has ever undertaken to combat the climate catastrophe. Experts, events, empowerment. It's all on the way from unapologetically progressive KBLA Talk 1580. We don't black down. We level up.
Level up, 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 level up.
Don't miss Provember at Lowe's. Save $80 on a DeWalt combo kit and save $20 on a 5-gallon pail of HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams All-Purpose Power Primer. Plus, MVP's members earn 3 times the bonus points on DeWalt and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams products. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, selection varies by location. Bonus points calculated before tax and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 11/22, subject to change.
November is National Runaway Prevention and Homeless Youth Awareness Month, and the Sanctuary of Hope is shining a light on the situations that cause youth to run away or face a housing crisis. In LA County, nearly 3,000 youth are homeless on the streets each night. All month long, the Sanctuary of Hope will lead activities throughout LA County to inform and mobilize calls for action, and you can help. For more info, go to www.thesoh.org. That's www.thesoh.org.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Yes, it does. And okay, so tomorrow is Turkey Day, Day of Gratitude, Day of Nothing. If you're, like so many, the Gen Z folks that don't want to celebrate it, that's fine. That's your choice. Could be Family Day, Friendsgiving, whatever it is. The next day is Black Friday, biggest shopping day of the year, where we all believe the hype. Not all of us. Many of us believe the hype and stand in long lines. Why do I say hype? Because a lot of times stores will do what they call loss leaders. They'll have 1 or 2 super cheap items that people fight over, a TV or whatever for real low. And then the rest of the stuff is more or less priced normally. They, mark it up, then mark it down. That's what Amazon is famous for. They'll say, on sale it was $300. Now it's $199, and you think you're getting a deal, but really it was never $300. They just do that. Amazon's been busted for doing that. And in-person stores do it too. So don't lose your mind. If you're going to go to Black Friday, it's not always a great deal. A lot of it is the hype that on that day we're all supposed to buy. And we get into this mindset of hyper-consumerism that does not serve us. I don't always do this. I've talked about it many a year with my friend Marie Deary from Wealth Management Financial Advisors. That's a good idea to kind of come up with a number. What am I going to spend between Black Friday and New Year's Eve through Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, all that? What am I planning to spend above and beyond what I would normally budget for, for my life? What am I going to invest in the holidays? And then track it. You can go as far as withdrawing that money and putting it in an envelope and spending it in cash. And when that cash runs out, your holiday spending has come to an end. Because if we swipe, then we end up with this financial hangover in January, which you want to talk about depression. No candle in the world is going to dig you out of that when your credit card bill comes back and you can't cover those expenses. And then with the high interest rates, it blows up. Now you've got this whole problem. Or you spent up the money. Maybe you didn't even use a credit card. Now you can't pay your light bill, your mortgage, your rent, whatever. So that's what experts suggest. I've done it before. It's not easy, but it is effective. Say I set aside, whatever. Say you set aside $500 or $1,000. And then you can sit there and sort of give yourself an idea. Well, I'm going to spend this much on the Thanksgiving meal. I'm going to spend this much on, the Christmas or Kwanzaa Karamu. And then that leaves me $300 for presents or whatever it is. And, maybe that will inspire us to make a present, do a thing for a person, or focus on the children. That's what I do. If it's Christmas, Kwanzaa, I'm more likely to give you something for your B-Day, your solar return, your born day, then, because to me, those Christmas Kwanzaa type joints are meant to be for kids. So I'm not, other than, and I'm not trying to encourage Scroogeism. I love generosity, festivities and decorations and yummy food and all that. I'm just putting a pin in the budget idea. Write it down. Try it. Try a new thing. Behold, I do a new thing. Try a budget. Budget is not a sexy word, but all it means is saying I have this much to spend on this, and I'm going to track it. Whether it means pulling it out in cash and just spending until that envelope full of money is gone, or putting it in a separate account, or just writing it down as I swipe. Okay, this much was, spent at Trader Joe's or Simply Wholesome, a black-owned store. And now I have this much left for my running holiday total. I am a follower of Black Xmas. That's Black Lives Matter's initiative for the holidays. It officially launches on Friday, goes through January 1st. No matter what you're buying in this season, they urge you to buy black, verified black owned, because there are some companies that were black owned and have been sold, or others that just front and try to make you think they're black owned when they're really not. Not saying that, that we don't support other local businesses or even giant corporations. But for me, it's about mindfully, consciously, intentionally supporting my community. And every other community does it. We can see that because their dollars stay within their immediate range, their neighborhood, their ethnic group, for much longer. The black dollar flees our community within an hour. Others, it stays for days or even a week, so before it goes out. So a little can do a lot. Build Black and Bank Black are two pieces of the puzzle that are less talked about. It means even if you don't put your entire, billion that you have, that billion nut that you got, even if you don't put all of it in the black bank, peel off $1 million or something. Or go on and, make the big deposit. If you're worried about it, those banks are FDIC insured. Of course, if you're up there in the billions, no bank is insuring that, even though we saw during some of the bank failures that the government under Biden stepped in and did insure big investors, big depositors, which I have mixed feelings about, but that's another story for another day. The point is, that's another thing, another way to celebrate, to make Black Friday blackety black, not just, in the black, as in businesses getting money, but Blackity Black Friday, where we consciously put our money into black businesses. And another thing Black Lives Matter suggests, I don't know if you're this virtuous. I'm not, but I could be, but I'm really not. Which is that they say give a gift to a black community-based organization or cause in the name of a friend. So instead of giving mom a gift, or, instead of giving Bay a gift, you just give them a certificate saying $100 or $1 million has been donated in your name to LA Can or United Negro College Fund or Black Lives Matter grassroots. Make sure it's grassroots, though. Not them thieves over there at the Global Network Foundation. Want to make sure, it's grassroots. Or you want to give it to a reputable organization, in other words. And then they'll give you a certificate and you can say, I've done charity. The reason I say I'm not that virtuous is because I like to give people presents that make them smile. And I'm sure they'd smile, but, make them smile because it shows that not just that you spent money, but that you know them, you thought about them, and there's love in that gift, that to me, that's part of what's fun about the holidays. And if you look at Kwanzaa and the whole celebration of Kwanzaa, one of the things that they suggest is giving gifts, particularly to children, that connect them with their African roots. So that's one way to go, like a drum or some mud cloth, an item of clothing. And certainly there's many black-owned businesses that provide that. You can go to blackxmas.com. It's blackxmas.com, and they actually have a list of businesses there. You can call our friend Charles over at 1-800-UNITE-US. He'll connect you. And there are a number of apps that do that. The main thing is make sure it's verified black-owned, not, blackface, business in blackface. Or, as somebody brilliant was pointing out on this show, black targeted. There are plenty of businesses that are black targeted that are not black owned. Companies that cater to us. And you guys heard me going off about these Christmas trees, and I'm not talking about the kind you put lights on. If you are going to buy weed, cannabis, gummies, whatever y'all buy, this holiday season, this is a great place to recycle black dollars. I mentioned Gorilla Life RX. It's right across the street from the station. It's woman-owned, black-owned. But there's lots of them. You shop around, find the best deals. Black-owned, well, there's not as many as we wish there were, but there are a decent number of black-owned cannabis businesses. And I can't tell you, it happened again the other day because there's a Mad Men right next to a restaurant that I really like. And I saw black people lined up down the block to give their money to a big corporate white-owned enterprise. And now a business, when it was illegal, we recycled black dollars. You got your weed from the weed man down the corner. Now you going to ship those dollars out? Stop it. Just stop it. I'm Dominique DiPrima, listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who is black, says public safety agencies are safe from the next round of budget cuts for now. Adams says the FDNY, NYPD, and Sanitation Department will not have to make additional cuts as long as the updated budget adds up. Budget Director Jacques Jiha says the migrant crisis is forcing the city to pinch pennies, but notes officials are looking at ways to cut the migrant budget by 20%. Ludacris is ready to release new music after spending 8 years away from the industry. In an interview with BET, the rapper revealed he won't be releasing a full album, but he's currently trying to figure out whether he wants to release an EP or an LP. Ludacris also shared that projects like Fast and Furious franchise, his Netflix show Karma's World, and his new Christmas movie have kept him away from the studio. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Staples Holiday Deals mean amazing savings for the holiday season. Right now, save 50% on custom holiday cards and invitations, as well as custom photo gifts like mugs and calendars. Offer ends 12/16. Visit staples.com/print for more details. Have yourself a merry little holiday deal at Staples.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
I'm a bad man. The Lakers win their third straight. They cruised past Utah to win by 32 at Crypto.com. The Lakers had 35 assists. Efficient game for LeBron, 17 points, 9 assists in 24 minutes. LeBron sat out the fourth quarter. The Lakers needed a blowout like this to give LeBron some valuable rest. He played 40 minutes in Sunday's win over Houston. The Lakers would need a well-rested LeBron tonight. They play Dallas at Crypto, 7 o'clock tip. The Clippers are back in action tonight. They're in San Antonio to play the Spurs again. The Clippers beat the Spurs by 25 on Monday. The top 4 schools in the college football playoff rankings: Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, and Washington. If the regular season ended today, these 4 schools will be in the playoffs to battle for the national championship. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
The City of Los Angeles Civil Rights Department and its LA Repair Participatory Budgeting Program invite nonprofit organizations to submit proposals to turn community ideas into reality. More than $5.4 million is available to make a difference in the Arleta, Pacoima, Westlake, Skid Row, South LA, Leimert Park, and Harbor areas. Don't wait. Proposals are due on November 29th at noon. To apply, visit repair.lacity.gov. LA Repair gives people real power over real money. Visit repair.lacity.gov.
Do you have both Medi-Cal and Medicare?
If so, the new LA Care plan called Medicare Plus can help you get the most out of your health plan for $0.
LA Care provides personalized service to Angelinos like us.
Plus, it gives us access to doctors and specialists across Los Angeles County.
For zero cost, we get access to full benefits.
From vision coverage,
in-home support services,
to prescription drug coverage,
and a quarterly over-the-counter allowance,
plus personal equipment,
meal programs,
a gym membership,
and so much more.
For more than 25 years,
LA Care has provided Angelinos with access to quality health care at an affordable cost.
For our families,
our seniors,
our community,
it's a plus.
It's a plus
for all of us.
Ask any former youth in foster care what they missed most while growing up, and they will most likely answer, someone to show me unconditional love. Now, isn't that something we all wished we could experience? Here in Los Angeles, up to 40% of homeless youth on our streets identify as LGBTQ+. The most prevalent reason for homelessness among this population is the rejection they've experienced from their own families. The LA County Department of Children and Family Services and Raise a Child are searching for safe, nurturing, and affirming foster parents within our community willing to stand up and serve all children and youth in foster care, especially LGBTQ youth. Learn the many benefits to becoming a foster parent. Attend a free Raise a Child virtual or in-person informational event to learn more. RSVP now at raiseachild.org. That's raiseachild.org. And thank you.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
And probably the biggest development on the world stage this week. It appears that there is going to be a ceasefire in Gaza, well, okay, maybe it's not a ceasefire. It's a pause. You got to be careful what words you use, but they're going to stop firing, so it might be a ceasefire. It's a pause in the war, where the hostages being held by Hamas, 50 of them, will be released in exchange for 150 Palestinian women and children that are jailed by Israel. They're apparently, according to the New York Times, they're still working out details, and the families of those hostages do not know which ones are coming home, nor of the prisoners. They haven't said exactly how it's going to happen, but it appears that deal has been completed. And the one thing we do know is that it's a 4-day pause. They're supposed to be having trucks coming in full of supplies, gas, electricity, food, and such. They're coming in from Egypt, which is a route which is not usually used for big shipments. So it's going to be, it's not clear yet if it will be able to bring in those 400 trucks a day, because that particular border is not set up for that kind of traffic. Usually they would come in through Israel, but that border is decidedly closed at this time because of the war, because of October 7th, and it's not the most porous border anyway, in general. So if more hostages are released, then the pause in the war will be extended. I think they're saying 1 day for every 10 hostages that Hamas releases. And we're going to see how that goes. Of course, there's critics on all sides of this. Some folks, would say we shouldn't negotiate with terrorists, or that it's setting a bad precedent. Some critics are saying it doesn't go far enough. What does a 4-day pause do when, we need to stop the war and have a ceasefire and try diplomacy? I heard the Undersecretary of the UN yesterday on CNN saying that one of the scariest things about this conflict is it appears that war is the first option rather than putting diplomacy first, or sanctions or other kinds of leverage, right? That war appears to be the first option. It's good news, in my view. I would like to see diplomatic means. I would love to see a total ceasefire. I would love to see the slaughter stop. But I do believe that the release of hostages is something to celebrate. And I do believe, especially it's interesting, some of these Palestinian prisoners that are being released are on something called administrative hold, meaning they don't know what they've been charged with. Apparently, that, technically, unless you're Khalif Browder, that's illegal in the United States. They're supposed to tell you what you're being charged with, what you're being held for. But a bunch of these prisoners are on something called administrative leave, where they don't know what they've been charged with. And it sounds like they're putting emphasis on the younger and the very elderly, in which prisoners would be released and which hostages would be let go. So it's a kind of progress. I hope that this opens the door to some diplomacy, to some negotiation. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu appears to be very determined and has made it quite clear that he plans to start right back up with the war after these 4 days. And, with full force. The IDF has said that they're concerned that Hamas will regroup during these 4 days, and they've also said they plan to regroup. So I would imagine that if no diplomatic 911 intervention is successful during those 4 days, or maybe Hamas continues to release hostages and it extends for more than 4 days, I would imagine that war is going to come back with ferocity. And it's a terrible thing. It really is. That the sheer slaughter of civilians on October 7th, ongoing. We're over 13,000 now in Gaza. And the world is paying attention. So hopefully that is a game changer in terms of putting pressure on Netanyahu, putting pressure on Biden. You know, Hamas is in name the government of Gaza, but they are an underground group designated as a terrorist group. It's not like they have, I don't know how you negotiate with that. But I think the last time, if I remember correctly, that the Palestinian citizens got to vote and voted in Hamas was 2006. How about a pause? How about a ceasefire and an election? And let the people vote Hamas out. I don't know who else they could vote in. And that seems to be the big conundrum, that, who is going to be in charge. Israel has said they will be controlling security over Gaza as they do in the West Bank for the indefinite foreseeable future, which is occupation. So how does that makes it seem highly unlikely that a two-state solution would emerge. So maybe, unless there's some diplomatic breakthrough, and or a new prime minister in Israel, and or a new approach from the Biden administration, maybe, what we're hearing more talk about now is a one-state solution where Israel and Palestine are one country and everyone has rights. It's like if you look at the United States, or maybe a better example is South Africa, you have people with varying religious, political, ethnic identities, all living under one flag, and they figure it out. I think of South Africa, which I traveled to this year, and I honestly, I'll say I don't think they've really worked it out yet, because the remnants of that apartheid system are still there. But yet, they have one state, and they're working towards, just multiracial democracy, just like we are in the United States. We haven't worked it out either. And we've had a bit more time since the Civil War. We're still working that out. How do you have, we have a one-state solution, right, here in the United States. We didn't split up into the Confederate South and the, Union North. We have one state. But we're still working it out. We do not have a fully just multiracial democracy where everyone enjoys equal rights yet. But we're moving in that direction. We have made progress, and I think to deny that progress is to deny the work and sacrifice of so many people who have held our nation to the standards set by itself in our Constitution. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, whatever else is on your mind this fine morning. 60 years. since the assassination of President Kennedy. And we're still talking about it. Can reflect on that and a few other things that you need to know about when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now there are medicines that can treat COVID, whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
At Susan G. Komen, we believe that ending breast cancer needs all of us working together. Because if you've just been diagnosed and don't know where to turn, we've got you. If you can't afford the treatment you need, we've got you. And if you are driven to honor the loved one you've just lost, we have a place for you here. Because of you, we're supporting those who need help today while tirelessly searching for tomorrow's cures. Visit Komen.org and be a part of our Susan G. Komen community today.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Hey, everything okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Honey. Hey, I'm here for you. Tell me about school today.
When kids can't find the right words, music can help them sound it out. Talk to the kids in your life about their emotional well-being. Find tools and resources at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, you're back to me, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580 if you want to call and talk to me. John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas 60 years ago today. And it still, obviously, it's going to leave a wound. I mean, you think about other nations where we hear of political assassinations being more common, or even if you look at the early days of the United States. But in this era, and I'll include Martin Luther King in that, I'll include Malcolm X in that, we have seen fewer, right? And it's clearly changed the course of our nation. One of the things that gives me chills thinking about this assassination is that I feel like we're headed more in that direction in our country, right? With threats to judges, even one judge in New Jersey being killed, with fights, out-and-out fights breaking out in the Senate, the U.S. Senate. I mean, Bernie Sanders has to break up a fight. What are we doing, people? With he who shall not be named, the 45th president, literally threatening people, advanced pre-threatening. You know, if I become president again, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this to my political enemies. I'm going to throw them in jail. I'm going to, throw the law at the book at them. I'm going to change the laws. And how do we get away from that? How do we get back to some sense of normalcy? In the 1964 election was the reason that Kennedy was in Dallas that day campaigning. And the people were out in throngs to see Kennedy. And as we all know, he was shot in his car, and we all know there's a lot of different theories about what happened. Interesting now, though, there's an account from a Secret Service agent on the scene who is now 91. His name is Clint Hill. And he was speaking out about, how he tried to save the president. Are you old enough to remember that? Are you one of the many younger people that studies this and finds lessons or finds theories? Do you subscribe to any of the many? It's interesting when you talk about, probably, in my view, the most gigantic murders, assassinations in modern U.S. history is John F. Kennedy. I guess you have to include, I should say, his brother, Bobby Kennedy, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King. And we are still looking for real answers. Although historians will tell you it's settled, and I don't mean to be a conspiracy theorist, many Americans do not accept the official stories in these cases. Let's go to Fahima calling us from Washington, D.C. Good morning, Queen.
Baragani and K-Pasa, Dominique, I'm going to be brief in the interest of time. When you mentioned about how, we've had few assassinations in this country, it reminded me of the U.S. involvement in more assassinations, like Salvador Allende, Patrice Lumumba, multiple attempts to murder Fidel Castro, which this is the 7th year yesterday of his transitioning. The attempt to kill leaders that they didn't agree with their ideologies and their like Hugo Chavez, the attempt to murder Hugo Chavez. In fact, they made a movie about it called "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised," and actually it didn't work. And lastly, I would suggest people read the book Confessions of an Economic Hitman by Perkins, and he shares how, they recruit people to go in and convince these leaders to do the U.S.'s bidding, and if they don't, they end up dying in a plane crash.
Well, yeah, or they're murdered. I mean, the United States, when I say we haven't had many assassinations, I'm talking about U.S. presidents. I am talking domestically. But you make a good point. I mean, there's a long list, right? Kwame Nkrumah, Allende. I mean, there's a long list. I can't think of the name of the guy from Grenada at the moment, but there's a long list of heads of state of other countries where the U.S., the secret intelligence groups are implicated, right? Or where we are the puppet masters. And so, yeah, that's a great point, Fahima. I mean, and how many times did the United States try to kill Fidel Castro, to your point about him being around for 7 years? And it's not even a question, do you like these people or not? If Ghana democratically elects Kwame Nkrumah, we don't get to do regime change. That's not our right. We are not the grand puppet master of the world. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Are you interested in catching up on all the latest entertainment news, trending topics, and exciting interviews? I got you. Tune in to The Raw Report with Robin Ayers, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. I'm your host, Robin Ayers. Join me every weekday with some of the best entertainment contributors in the business as we break down what's going on, who's got next, and what not to miss. Only on The Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Discover, this is Danny.
Hi, it's Jen Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Are you hungry? 'Cause everyone left after the asparagus sorbet.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Indeed. Do not be afraid to say what you see. Don't be afraid to call me and say what you see. 800-920-1580 is the number. Little heads up. I know because I'm a dog owner, dog lover, there's some kind of little respiratory disease going around among dogs right now that they don't quite know what it is. And there's, I got a notification from LA County. There's an article in the Washington Post about it today. So if your pup, is sneezing and getting a runny nose, or, seems to be having some respiratory distress, don't laugh it off or brush it off this holiday season. They don't know a lot about what it is. They say it's a cough that could last for weeks, then it becomes pneumonia, and it doesn't respond to antibiotics. They don't know quite what it is. If it was me, and it is me because I got a big pup. I have a big doggy dog. I wouldn't be hanging out in dog parks right now till they figure out what that stuff is, because it's probably infectious. And it can be fatal, and very expensive and ongoing. So just be careful out there, show your pups some love. Okay, as usual, I have more stories than I have hours, but that's fine. We'll keep talking. We'll talk on social media, and we'll talk on this microphone. Really, really, really looking forward to getting our well-being together, right? Globally renowned healer, herbalist, and holistic naturopathic practitioner, Dr. Sharita Yazid is in the building. What a great way to start our day of gratitude. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Tyreek Wayne. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. New York City Mayor Eric Adams, who is black, says public safety agencies are safe from the next round of budget cuts for now. Adams says the FDNY, NYPD, and Sanitation Department will not have to make additional cuts, but notes officials are looking at ways to cut the migrant budget by 20%. Ludacris is ready